Hello. We're going to do more parallel line problems today. A little more complicated diagrams than in the past. So let's start off with something that looks like this. We can have a couple parallel lines like before with the transversal, but what we can do is make more than one parallel line. We can have a situation like that. Let's label these lines A, B, and C, and these ones down here, E and F. So line A is parallel to line B is parallel to line C. I think in the last video, I forgot to tell you that that's the symbol for parallel, two little vertical lines. And then also, let's say E is parallel to F. Okay? Now, technically, as you know, I need to draw arrows on those lines, but I'm not going to bother with that right now just to save some time. Now, because we have parallel lines, if I gave you one of those angles, you could find all the other angles involved. So let me just randomly pick an angle, and let's say this one right here measures 30 degrees. And I wanted you to find this one down here. Okay? Well, there's a lot of ways you can do that. One thing you know right off the bat, if that's 30, so is this one 30. And then if this is 30, and because these are parallel, that's also 30, and that's also 30, etc. Now what's next to it? If this is 30, right next to it is going to be complementary, so this is 150. And then because of parallel lines, this is 150, and this is 150. Okay? And then now we can go sideways if we want. If this is 30, this one over here is 30. If you want, if it helps, turn the paper sideways. Look at it however you want to look at. And then this one over here is also 30, which would make these 150. So as soon as you find one angle, you can find all the others. And here's a little tip, a little shortcut. When you do parallel line problems, no matter how many parallel lines, you're always going to have just two different numbers. All the small acute angles, acute means less than 90, like this angle, 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 etc., are all going to be 30. All the other angles obtuse more than 90 are going to be the supplement of 30, which is 150. So you can go 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, etc., etc., etc. So you can almost say if they look equal, they are, and if they don't look equal, then they are supplementary. And that is one way to do these parallel line problems. Now let's do a few more that are perhaps a little more difficult. I do actually enjoy solving these types of problems. My only recommendation to you is when you do these, try to have a little patience with yourself. Don't give up right away. Sometimes you don't see the answer immediately, and it just takes a little bit of time. Now, look at the diagram we have here. PQ is parallel to RS. Here's PQ, here's RS. They're parallel. And what are we given? We're given P is 70. And we're given Q is 50. And we're trying to find QRT. QRT. We're trying to find that angle right there. Okay? Now, one thing that may help you when you get a diagram like that is to draw out the usual picture. And we have something that looks like this. Now, if we're given this angle is 70, we know this angle is 70. We can transfer that up here. If we know that's 70, we know that angle there is 70. It's kind of the same diagram, with just parts of it cut off. Likewise over here. If that's 50, let's draw it like this. If we know this is 50, we know this is 50. And it's the same thing That's 50. The parallel lines make this 70 and this 70, this 50 and this 50. These are actually, the parallel lines are PQ and RS. RS is actually a ray, isn't it? And we have two transversals. This is one transversal, this is the other transversal. So now if we want to find angle QRT, well, we just add those two together and we get 120. I know I kind of went a little fast on that, and it may take you a little longer to do it on your own, but give these a shot, okay? Let's look at the next one. Parallel lines, and we have kind of a triangle inside. And what kind of triangle is it? BE is congruent to BF. Oh, that's an isosceles triangle. Okay? Now, CBF is 35 degrees. That's angle CBF right there. And if that's 35, that's 35. One way to kind of help you see that is if it makes the letter Z, the angles are going to be equal. And here you see the letter Z. That means this angle and this angle are going to be equal. So we're trying to find BEF, this angle right here. Well, since it is an isosceles triangle, if that's 35, that's 35 also. We got our answer. Okay? Let's try one more. Down here, we have AB, this right here, parallel to CE. So this and this are parallel. Angle B is 50. Angle ACE is 75. Find angle ACB. Wait a second. Oh, that's not ACE. My bad. ACE, right here. This is 75. Sorry, I drew it in the wrong spot. Find angle ACB. This is the angle we're trying to find. Well, because they're parallel, and remember I mentioned the Z, this line is parallel to this line, and this is the transversal right here. If you want, if it helps, look at it like that. And if it makes the letter Z, if that's 75, then this here is also 75. That must have been what I was thinking about when I put the 75 there. Okay? If these are parallel, that 75 makes that 75. Well then, how do we find that remaining one? Well, it's a triangle. We know all three angles add up to 180. So if you add the 75 and 50, you get 125, and then you subtract 125 from 180, and you get 55 as our answer. Okay. Good luck on your homework, and let's see how this recorded.